Good evening. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. The Nigerian army has said that its troops have killed many terrorists as it seeks to gain the upper hand in the war against Boko Haram. The spokesperson for the Nigerian army, Sani Usman, said troops of 7th Brigade on Friday entered and cleared Gundumbali town in Kukawa local government area of Borno State as part of the continued offensive operations against the Boko Haram terrorists. Colonel Usman said a number of weapons and equipment belonging to the terrorists were also destroyed. He added that the troops are currently doing clearance operations in the general area. In a related development, troops of 5th Brigade Explosive Ordnance Devices Unit ran into landmines buried by the terrorists while advancing towards Dikwa in Borno State. Unfortunately, 2 soldiers lost their lives while 2 others were critically injured. President Muhammadu Buhari has restated his conviction that the end of the Boko Haram insurgency is in sight as Nigeria and her allies intensify the war against the terrorist sect. He said this while speaking during a meeting with Musa Mahamat, Chadian Minister of Foreign Affairs and Special Envoy of President Idris Deby of Chad in Abuja. The president said with higher morale and improved logistics, equipment and training among troops in the front line against Boko Haram, a rapid end to the insurgency could be expected. The special envoy of the Chadian president also reaffirmed his country's full commitment to the intensified war against Boko Haram. He said that beyond the number of troops earlier announced, Chad was still ready to commit more soldiers to the fight. President Muhammadu Buhari has suspended David Paradang, the Comptroller General of Nigerian Immigration Service. Paradang was asked to immediately proceed on suspension on Friday while the service's Deputy Comptroller General, Martin Abeshi, takes over from him. No reason has been given for President's decision to sanction Paradang. The Accident Investigation Bureau AIB has released the passenger manifest for the ill-fated Bristol helicopter that crashed into the Lagos Lagoon on Wednesday, August 12, 2015. The helicopter departed Sedco oil platform offshore and was heading to the Murtala Mohammed Airport in Ikeja, Lagos, when it crashed at the Oronshoki end of the Lagos Lagoon. 6 people out of the 12 people aboard the aircraft were killed in the crash. A statement signed by Head Public Affairs Tunji Oketubi also confirmed that investigations are ongoing to know the reason for the crash. The names of the people on board the plane are Ita Ekpenyong, Joshua Emekeme, Dolu Ebiejuara, Onorode Onojete, Chukwuma Erise, Solomon Ude, Chidi Ukwunta, Inyala Okpaimi, Chris Abua, Chukwudi Ona, Joseph Yat, who was the captain, and Peter Kayode Bello, who was the co-pilot of the plane. President Muhammadu Buhari has sent Nigeria's former president Olusegun Obasanjo to Guinea-Bissau as a special envoy to mediate and help find a solution to the crisis brewing in the West African nation. President Buhari also urged the leadership in Guinea-Bissau, including the military, to ensure respect for constitutional order, sanctity of life, and safety of citizens. In a statement on Friday by President Buhari's spokesman, Femi Adesina, the president expressed deep concern about the unfolding political situation in Guinea-Bissau following the dismissal of the Prime Minister, Domingos Simões Pereira, and his cabinet by President Jose Mario Vaz. President Buhari appealed for calm and also called on the leadership in Guinea-Bissau to exercise utmost restraint and ensure the maintenance of law and order as efforts continue to resolve the current crisis. In line with the new auto policy in the country, Easy Parts, a new online auto parts, has introduced an innovation of purchasing original parts for vehicles in order to ease the challenges of consumers. New and genuine auto parts from the United States can be bought by customers online. With this innovation, the company says its operation will bridge the gap between the original manufacturers and the end users.
We know the normal practice in Nigeria is your mechanic tells you to buy a Tokumbo part and then you jump at it because you think it's cheap. And then 2-3 weeks down the line, your car begins to develop the same fault. and they won't tell you it's the same issue. They just tell you something else, and then you give them money, and it keeps going and going. So we thought about the challenges that car owners have in Nigeria, and we decided to say, okay, if this is working in the US, if people are, we know there are Nigerians who are ready to, take advantage of purchasing original parts instead of going for the substandard ones. So we decided to bring this platform to Nigeria to be able to bridge the gap between original part manufacturers and the end users. I think the likes of Konga, the likes of Jumia have really opened Nigerians a lot to internet marketplace, so to speak. But yeah, there are always challenges, but it's been improving. People are now comfortable, sitting in the comfort of their homes, to transact business. As a matter of fact, I visited a friend a couple of days ago, and he was with his tab. He bought all the ingredients he wanted to cook soup with. So I think Nigerians are very receptive people. The only thing you need to show them is whatever you're bringing to them, it's real. It has credibility. So I think it's been very fantastic.
The Rivers State High Court has dismissed the suit filed by the former governor of Rivers State, Rotimi Amechi, challenging the setting up of a judicial commission of inquiry to probe his administration. The current governor of Rivers State, Nyesom Wike, had established the Justice George Omereji-led Judicial Commission of Inquiry to probe the alleged sale of state assets by the Amechi administration. In his judgment, Justice Simeon Amadi, who presided over the suit, declared that the Judicial Commission of Inquiry was not established to investigate the personal activities of the former governor, but to investigate the previous actions of the government as they affected the people of Rivers State. Justice Amadi added that there was no law preventing a state government from finding out how the state's resources were spent. Amechi's counsel, however, Winifred Eyinnaya, said the former governor would appeal against the judgment. President Muhammadu Buhari says he would not tolerate any attempt by the Nigerian police to extort money from unemployed youths applying to join the police force. Speaking at a meeting with officials of the Ministry of Police Affairs and the Police Service Commission at the Presidential Villa in Abuja, Buhari said the practice of applicants having to pay bribes before being accepted into the police force was totally unacceptable. Meanwhile, President Buhari has directed the Inspector General of Police, Sunday Arase, to reduce the number of police officers attached to dignitaries in the country. The ruling All Progressives Congress APC has slammed Bode George, a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, over his call for the probe of the last two governors of Lagos State, Asiwaju Bola Tinubu and Babatunde Fashola. The Lagos chapter of the APC, in a statement signed by its spokesperson, Joe Igbokwe, said George and the Lagos PDP had just woken up from quote, chronic hallucination after their defeat by the APC, end of quote. Igbokwe urged the former National Deputy Chairman of the People's Democratic Party to accept that all was over for the opposition party, adding that no one takes him seriously in matters of Nigerian politics. The APC also accused George of engaging in dubious activities during the campaigns for the 2015 elections, saying President Buhari also has full knowledge of them too. The concessionary company awarded the contract for the renovation of the Falomo shopping complex in Ikoyi, Lagos, southwest Nigeria, has denied any wrongdoing barely 24 hours after the contract was terminated. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode had revoked the concession contract, saying the agreement was grossly detrimental to the interests of the people of the state. However, the company, Afriland Properties, in a statement signed by its CEO, Uzo Oshogwe, said the partnership they entered with the Fashola-led administration for the refurbishment of the shopping center was done transparently and in accordance to the rule of law. The management of Afriland said it strongly refutes the suggestion that it has engaged in any misconduct or that the transaction is in any way detrimental to the people and government of Lagos State. Former Governor of Lagos State Babatunde Fashola granted Afriland Properties the concession contract for the redevelopment of the shopping mall within the period of 50 years for the sum of 50 million during his time in office. The West African Examination Council, WAEC, has said it is not considering adopting the computer-based test mode for its examinations. Its head national office, Charles Eguridu, made the clarification on Thursday in Abuja. Eguridu said it would amount to intellectual dishonesty for him to say that the council would introduce CBT in the next 5 years or the next future. He said the purpose of education is to prepare people for life, not to pass examinations, hence the need to examine different domains which CBT cannot accommodate. We'll take a short break now. When we come back, we'll look at more news stories. Don't go away.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching the Funny White Man Show, which is the biggest, the brightest, and the most entertaining show in Africa.
Funny white man, funny white man, funny white man, but this way you talk, it's too much. Give me 5,000 man, that's you. It's too much. So you get it like, when she move along the street, yeah, me should like there, I'm going girl. You know, my own people, actually. Yeah, fine, it's fun. I enjoy it. And I'm one of those very few, I'm forever taking it personal. I will listen 160 million Nigerians are corrupt. How? Brother, I'm looking for you.
Yeah, but it's a growth, and this is the time to build business and know the pitfalls and know what to do and what not to do. But there are months where you get business and months.
You know how we do, how we tell you. We did the way you did.
Hello, you're welcome. You're watching Trending Matters on the Funny White Man Show. Of course, we will bring you trending issues just to entertain and tickle your fancy.
Welcome back. You're watching TV360 News Now. To business, the Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode has urged government agencies that are yet to comply with the provision of the Lagos State Reform Law to start their contributions into the employees' retirement savings account. Ambode said this while speaking at the 18th edition of the Lagos Pension Reform held in Alausa, Lagos State, Southwest Nigeria. He said he intends to enhance workers' welfare and their continued financial empowerment through the payment of outstanding commitments in the state public service. U.S. oil prices dived again on Friday, threatening to dip below $40 a barrel for the first time since the financial crisis in 2009. U.S. October crude oil fell $1.02 a barrel to $40.29 a barrel, while Brent oil fell $1.28 to $45.33 a barrel, threatening to break below $45 a barrel for the first time since March 2009. Although the current collapse in oil prices, the second time this year, has raised alarm within the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries, OPEC, including some of its core Gulf members. There is no indication that there will be reversal of the policy of keeping production wide open to defend market shares. Hundreds of migrants have rushed to Macedonia's border in an attempt to enter the country from Greece. Witnesses have reported a crush at the Macedonian border as hundreds of people could be heard screaming and medical workers raced to treat those who passed out or were hurt. This comes as Macedonia announced that some migrants would be allowed to enter into the country. On Thursday, Macedonia declared a state of emergency to cope with migrants from many of the Southeast nations who are trying to reach northern EU states. Europe's migrant crisis has escalated in recent months as increasing numbers of people risk their lives to travel on overloaded, unsafe boats to reach the continent's shores, mainly through Greece and Italy. To sports stories now, Nigeria Football Association President Amaju Pinnick has been appointed as a member of the FIFA Under-20 World Cup Organizing Committee. FIFA General Secretary Jerome Vach confirmed his appointment via a letter to the NFF. In reaction to the news, Pinnick insisted that the appointment did not come to him in his individual capacity, but rather in his position as president of the NFF. The FIFA Under-20 World Cup finals will be staged in Korea Republic in the year 2017. We've come to the end of news now. We thank you very much for joining us. I am Thelma Okoro.